things moving very fast in a very positive way. It's very exciting right now. We got our metallurgy report from our Met Lab mid-December, just before the holidays, and they had using a simple gravity concentration centrifuge and then followed by flotation, reached a 97% recovery, which is obviously excellent.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Jared Laserson. He is the CEO of North Bay Resources. And Jared, it's always great to have you back. How are you?
Doing great. Thanks, Steve.
Yeah, good to have you along. Company out with news today that you've increased your stake in the Bishop Gold Mill. And this is one that obviously is significant and important to the company. So tell everyone a little bit about what's it used for and why you decided to take a bigger stake in it.
Well, we were already at 55.5% ownership, and we had the opportunity with the primary, now the minority owner, to basically make the last tranche of payments here, which will end the security interest of the note holder, effectively the mortgage holder, and take us up to 70%. So now we're majority, obviously, of profits will go to North Bay, and the deal seemed right valuation wise, primarily in shares, and compared to outstanding, I think it's less than 2% of outstanding. So not nominal, but seemed like a fair deal. And we've gone ahead, we've done that, and yeah, not complicated. We now went from 55.5%
Yeah.
to a 70% ownership, with this payment structure, the overwhelming majority of which is shares.
Yeah, and so now you've made some commitment in there as well, some new equipment. Talk to me a little bit about sort of, I guess, to optimize the mill, right?
Yes, so things are moving very fast in a very positive way. It's very exciting right now. We got our metallurgy report from our Met Lab mid-December, just before the holidays, and they had using a simple gravity concentration centrifuge and then followed by flotation, reached a 97% recovery, which is obviously excellent. So we then turned around with that information, and acquired additional from one of our partners. They actually own the Ruby mine up in Sierra County, and we're working with them. But one of the first things we've done is they have a lot of equipment up there, and one of the first things we've done is acquired some of their equipment, a centrifuge, and an additional table, in order to move from a flotation and then gravity system to a gravity primary based on those Met results. And the Met results had the Met results had shown 67%, so two-thirds, by simple gravity. So we're basically moving the mill to gravity primary. We've installed that equipment. We've already produced some con. We're optimizing that equipment as we speak, and we have tonnage there stockpiled. Our last shipment was 120 tons, plus we probably still have another 10 tons from a previous shipment. So we're looking at about 130 tons. The head grade reported by the Met Lab was 0.9, so almost 1 ounce per ton. You can do the math on that. 120 tons, just short of 1 ounce per ton at 2,700. Substantial amount of ore stockpiled, and yeah, day by day. But we're aiming for refinery shipment next week, and then we may switch things around a little bit depending on kind of how things go. But looking good and very exciting. All based originally on the Met results from our Fran Gold project. And I would add we have additional significant stockpiles there, upwards of 5,000 tons in stockpiles, and then we'll follow on in the summer with starting mining proper up there.
Yeah. And just can you get more of yield of what you've got right now? You mentioned that you're sort of optimizing the mill so that you can increase a lot. Are you looking at double or just a little bit more?
Well, in optimization, we're really talking about quality, ultimately quantity.
Okay.
The mill's rated 100 tons per day, so we'll ramp to that. But right now, you've got two pieces. One would be the logistics of running at 100 tons per day. That's about 5 truckloads a day to the mill. So logistically, we're just not quite there yet. We can certainly get there, but there's just no reason for it at this moment. Right now, what we want is to get everything running smooth. And optimization means both recovery, so in terms of percentage recovery, and and concentrate grade. So our real focus right now is a saleable concentrate. We need, I think our refinery cutoff is 3 ounces per ton, so it's not particularly high, but obviously we need to achieve that grade. The Met Lab was getting about 11 ounces per ton, so we have the blueprint. We're now implementing that. We will be producing and we're working on producing a saleable grade concentrate, and then we'll work on optimizing our recovery to get that ideally at that 90+% level. But exciting time, and the main thing is obviously we have the feedstock. That's really the key.
Yeah.
100% of nothing is still nothing. So and that's where a lot of projects kind of fall down, is in that obviously you need the head grade and the gold. That what your actual grade is without dilution, what your mining grade is, run of mine grade, and then obviously recovery. And we're looking very good in both those areas, particularly with the new equipment. And these folks we're working with on the equipment side, they have additional centrifuges. So we have one operating very well right now, and we may be acquiring two more shortly.
All right, Jared, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much. Good to see you again.
Always a pleasure, Steve. Thank you.
All right, Jared Laserson, the CEO of North Bay Resources.